Welcome to Really Important Thinking with Dr. Chris Chismore, hosted by Tom and Griffin.
We are your hosts, Tom and Griffin.
Unfortunately, our illustrious friend, Dr. Chris Chismore, is away on his important research and unable to host the podcast this week.
But fear not, dear listener, because he has left us in charge, and we are going to try to do a really good job of a podcast.
This week, Dr. Chismore has asked us to talk about
Stupidity.
Okay, Tom,
Good?
take us away.
Oh, citizen soldiers, you've emerged through the fog. You may be feeling scared. You hear some spooky skeletons in the background, the crunching of leaves underneath your feet.
Crunch.
The dripping of blood.
The dripping of blood off in the distance. Whose blood?
Who could say?
A dead Revolutionary War men. That's whose blood.
Oh, Tom could say.
I can say. But fear not, because you've arrived at a safe space beyond the veil. This is the Halloween episode of Really Important Thinking with Dr. Chris Chismore, hosted by Tom and Griffin. Because once again, Dr. Chris Chismore, of course he can't be here this week.
He is so busy. You guys I got a peek at his Google Calendar.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's for the next 16 weeks, blocked up, bricked up.
His Google
It says
Calendar
on his
comes
calendar,
with a trigger warning.
It says, trigger warning, I'm going to be bricked up for the next 16 weeks.
And when you look at it, some of you it might make some of you want to vomit.
And on Mondays, he has a standing meeting with liberal tears.
Yeah, that's how much of a heterodox thinker he is. But he can't be here this week because he is actually in rural Maine.
Wow.
He's in rural Maine.
Agora?
Agora, Maine.
Is that rural
maybe
Maine?
near
Kennebunkport?
Acadia
Acadia
the
National Park.
Because Griffin, do you have a guess of what he might be doing in Maine?
Clam diving.
No, that's very wrong.
Lobster research.
It's a good guess. It's something a little more themed towards Halloween, you see, because Maine is kind of a Halloween state.
Can I guess one more?
Yeah, you can guess one
He's
more.
doing as much cocaine and alcohol as he can to see if he can become as good a scary writer as Stephen King.
Okay, that's a lot closer to what he's doing. For Dr. Chris Chismore is he's on a bit of a spiritual mission this week. He is in Maine because it's fall. The veil is thinnest there. The leaves are falling. There's a chill in the wind.
He can feel the blinking nothingness from beyond.
Yes, and he's stepping beyond the veil to do important research to find out which is scarier, goblins or gremlins.
Wow.
And he's going to come back from the veil with an answer.
Tolkien sides with goblins. He wrote them in. He thinks they're scary. Nary a gremlin appears.
I think gremlins might be a little scarier. That's my guess.
Gremlins smaller,
more impish.
more mischievous.
Yes.
But yeah, who knows? They're so small. Who knows what they're doing down there? I feel like they're stealing children a lot more.
Yeah, they are stealing children, which as a potential father, as a potential and about to be father.
You're a potential father.
I'm a potential father. I could be the father of, I hope I'm the father of my wife's child. As a father to be, that's the scariest thing I could think of is having my child stolen by a gremlin.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, the one thing I could hope for your daughter is that she is born, turns to you, looks at you and says, I emancipate myself from you, thus setting herself free from the burden of her father and becoming her own hero.
Well, and you will have a stake in that as well, because as we established earlier in the podcast, you have a financial stake in my daughter. Tom, okay.
And our guest is knocking at the door, demanding attention.
Our guest is demanding attention. He is
in
showing
the quietest way.
He's showing us a flashing GIF on his phone that says, "Do we need to turn off the AC?"
Wow, seizure warning.
Yeah.
That's a lot to look at. It looks crazy.
It looks insane.
We don't need to turn off the AC. We have it on, and we have these beautiful special microphones designed by Shure in stunning Waukegan, Illinois.
Yeah, they're actually anti-air conditioning microphones. They're specially designed to.
That's why we got them.
Shun the sound of air conditioning. This is a good point to welcome our guest. Let's welcome our guest, Dr. Thomas Kelly.
Hey, thank you for having me. Excited to be here. Big fan of the podcast, and I'm excited to kind of optimize with you guys.
Incredible.
Yeah, you're
Optimize, disrupt, or otherwise fix.
fix.
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell us? Can you just remind our citizen soldiers what we're going to be talking about this week?
So a lot of people are trying to kind of understand everything. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that's absolutely completely wrong. I think you need to go in the other way. So I think you need to embrace and optimize stupidity.
Incredible. That's quite a disrupting thought.
That is a disruptive thought. Yeah, that is a very heterodox way of thinking. It's a disruptive way of thinking. It's essentially throwing up in the face of...
It's puking in the face of mainstream thought.
Mainstream intelligence.
Which is, we love to do on the podcast.
We love to do
Puke
that.
right in the face of mainstream intelligence.
Yeah, especially if they're, liberal thinkers, anything like that.
Yes.
It's a good way to throw up in their face.
I'm getting worried how much we're mentioning liberals. The satirical tone of the podcast is taking an odd turn.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I was at the No Kings protest, and after seeing some of the signs, you might want to throw up in a few faces.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not good at it. They're not good at it.
Did you have a sign?
No. I just went with my friend to support.
Support.
But
Support your friend?
Support my friend. No.
Hey, man, good luck in the protest today.
No.
I got your back.
Gosh, you're crushing it, man. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a National Guardsman to your left. Just make a nasty face at him. You're on the walkie-talkie with him in this scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was doing that.
I was like Benicio del Toro and
You're a sensei.
And the
Hot film.
One Battle After Another.
Wow, second week in a row, Tom's referenced it. Maybe third.
But anyway, we're optimizing our stupidity this week. This is a Halloween episode.
Yes.
So
I'd like to hear what everybody's costume is. Thomas, would you kick us off?
Okay, I'm the fisherman who hurt his neck catching the big fish. And I caught the big fish.
Nice. How big?
50 pounds.
It's a pretty big fish, but a pretty small fish to break your neck on.
Yeah, it's not like a full break. It's like a really bad sprain.
Okay, got it. Okay. How did it, do you have any details you care to share about how that happened?
Yeah, so I did the thing. I cast my line, and I was kind of enticing. I was reeling in and enticing with the line, and the fish bit it.
He bought and bid it.
He bought and bid it.
That's good. Good salesmanship.
Yeah.
All fishing is good salesmanship.
Yeah. What is fishing but selling the bait to a fish?
Because there's different. Because like we know, like you don't want to go to like all the restaurants, right? You still have to be advertised for the restaurant. So when you're picking your bait and kind of advertising it, you got to make it look the most enticing as possible.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you did that, and that broke your neck.
Well, it was in the sort of like reeling process. I was really working to get. This is I think it was like 54.5 pounds.
Whoo! Oh, whopper.
Yeah, that is a whopper.
Really, I was like reeling it in. And then I got a phone call.
Oh no!
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
There wasn't the mere reeling.
Got a phone call.
It was the ringing.
Got a phone call, and I had to, in order to answer the phone, I had to put the reel in this part of my neck. So I kind of put the reel this way so I could kind of answer the phone.
You kind of you did the classic phone cradle while you're doing something else with your hands, like in the kitchen, but you did that with the fishing rod.
Reel.
Oh.
And then held the phone up to your ear on the other side, and that broke it.
Yeah, that cranked it.
Severely strained it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is quite a way.
Phone. I guess it's a combo phone fishing related accident. Well, that's incredible.
A lot of fishing today requires a lot of technology.
It's true. The technology can only help you in the waters.
That's true. It can't hurt.
Do you recall what kind of fish it was?
Yes. It was an Alaskan, a yellow Alaskan sawfish.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's awesome. I didn't those must be pretty good eating
and delicious to eat.
Yeah.
Tom, what are you?
I am a motorcycle man. I'm a man who's been riding on his motorcycle. This velour and leather combo. I'm glad I'm sitting right by the AC because it is incredibly hot already.
You're the kind of guy, if I saw you driving down the interstate, I'd sort of yell out to everybody else in the car and say, "Holy shit, look at this one. Look at this guy coming down."
Well, and then I'd give you my motorcycleman stare.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Wow.
Show the camera. Wow.
But you do that a lot, Griffin. That's what I like about you when you drive around. You're always kind of like, look at this guy.
Look at this fucker.
Yeah.
This guy's looking weird.
Yeah.
I guess I kind of do that.
You did it the other day. Who was it? What kind of guy were you pointing out?
Wheelchair.
What type of guy?
Wheelchair guy. Jesus.
He had a weird kind of wheelchair. It was tank style.
It was tank
tank
it had
style.
tank wheels.
It had a tank wheel, tank tracks.
Really?
Tank tracks. And he was.
There's something else that you were also excited.
And it wasn't on the
to
beach.
highlight.
I've seen that on the beach.
He was
once
not
or
on the
twice.
beach. He was on the smooth surface of the road. He was in the middle of the road.
Damn.
Tank tracks. And something else, Thomas?
Yeah, there was another element. There are the tank track wheels on his wheelchair, but there was something else that you really wanted us to see about this person.
Oh, he had a big picture of matcha.
Oh yes,
Of matcha tea?
Yeah, I couldn't believe
Like
it.
a picture of matcha
A whole
tea.
picture of see, Tom gets it.
Isn't
That
that
is
crazy?
wild.
It's a trendy caffeine drink right now, and he was kind of embracing the trend.
Tanky wheelchair guy cranking down the matcha.
Damn.
I said, you got to look at this guy.
Yeah, that's a guy I'd want to look at. I do love matcha.
I like to treat the riders in my car to a beautiful view of the city through my eyes. What's going on in my head is holy shit, kind of constantly.
You also found the guy that you posted on your Instagram story that was a man with a tattoo of eyes
That was
on his head?
That was just outside of San Diego, California, where people like to do that kind of thing. Big, long, white beard, cargo shorts, old man in one of the most cursed bars I've ever been in, the Shanty, near Encinitas, maybe. And he had two eyes tattooed
Shout
on
out.
the back of his neck.
Shout out.
Which
Thank you, Thomas.
We do have to give a shout out to. We saw a comment on YouTube.
And I'm a little cowboy. Thank you for asking.
Oh yeah, Griffin's a cowboy.
You got the boots.
I
You
have
got
the
the
boots.
duster.
I got the duster. I got
You
the
got the
hat.
hat.
I even
You
got the
got the
shirt. I got the
mustache.
kind of the shirt.
You got
Bolo
the
tie.
attitude.
I did wear this out somewhere last night, and I went to a party before the costume party, and at the party they didn't really notice. I didn't have the duster on, but they were kind of like, "Nice outfit." You look
Well,
good."
yeah, because that's it could just be an outfit a guy's wearing these days.
I think it's in the zeitgeist. Cowboys are coming back.
Yeah.
Tom, you wanted to get to the comment we had a quick shout out to Melbourne, Australia, once again commenting on the only comment on a YouTube video, letting us know that maybe a lot of the Melbourne crowd hasn't had the time to reach out to us because, like her, many of them are in the Melbourne sketch, improv, and stand-up community, and they love us, she says, and that they're busy doing the Melbourne Fringe Festival.
So shout
that
out
out.
to all the comedians in the Melbourne Fringe Festival, all of our citizen soldiers.
Go see their shows.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, that will have been about a month ago.
Yeah. And don't sit in the middle of Melbourne. Get to the Fringe.
Get it to
That's
the
where all the
outside.
action is.
Get down in the gutter.
The outside lands.
Ooh, the outer the outlands.
The outer rim. The outer
This is
rim
getting
of
kind of
Melbourne.
literary.
Yeah.
Thomas,
Yes.
on to the topic, I say.
Yes.
Yes.
Silliness, buffoonery, and
Stupidity.
Stupidity.
slopping around.
Yeah. So like, let's say you're in, okay. So this is something like you're in a meeting, okay? And someone's kind of breaking something down for you. And everyone's like thinking that they know what they're talking about, everyone like this is like an expert. So you're going to trust what they say. I'm the kind of guy that I like to kind of bust in there and sort of be like, but what do you mean by that?
No context at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You like to bust into the room.
Yeah. And sort of be like, I don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
And what does that do?
Well, because maybe somebody else isn't understanding because this is like an expert.
Yeah.
So like he might not be explaining things well. So the fact that I'm stupider and I'm kind of embracing that, it allows information out that like maybe is integral that other people aren't getting.
You're the dumbest possible guy in the room, thus allowing whoever's just above you to feel comfortable asking their question. Is that?
Yeah, because
I
think it just like in general, there's a perception here you can't be dumb,
Yeah.
Right? You can't be stupid.
It's bad to be stupid
It's
publicly.
bad. Yeah. Like in school, that was the lowest grade, was the stupidest
stupid.
grade.
Are you saying the lowest grade you could receive on like a test, or are you saying like kindergarten is the stupidest grade, or is it kind of both?
I was talking about tests, but you know, even like I think looking at that is like an interesting metrics, because like the stupid, like in kindergarten, you're not expected to do much, and therefore you're succeeding everything you do
Quite easily.
And so I think that's another mindset you can take on.
Take on the mind of the kindergartner.
Yeah, everything's an achievement.
I think that was in your book, the humble mind of the kindergartner.
The humble mind of the kindergartner.
Oh yeah.
Unlocking it.
I read
and
that.
Unlocking it.
Yeah.
Parentheses, unlocking it.
Unlocking it. Yeah, that was an excellent book.
Yeah.
Available on Amazon, Patreon. Okay.
Yeah, it was through Amazon and Patreon.
Yes.
No, I love what you said about the business meetings, because that is very true. Oftentimes, someone will be rambling on and everyone is appearing to, or is afraid of appearing stupid because they want to seem smart. But when someone says, what do you mean by that?
Yes.
It's a great question to get the expert or the presenter to actually talk about things that a bunch of other people have missed. You know,
what's the phrase? Truth from the mind of a moron, or that's not it.
What is the phrase? Is it like
That's not right.
sort of wisdom from the mind of a dum-dum?
From the mouths of babes.
from the mouths of babes.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I like the mind of a dum-dum better.
Yes.
You're kind of emperor wearing no clothes. That kid seemed stupid to everybody when he said that.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe that's a different thing, because then that kid was actually smart, because Emperor was butt ass naked.
But I think he was kind of like, what's going on here?
He busted in and said, "Wait, what's going on here?"
He kind of was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's
You
just
know?
like, I'm just the guy asking questions.
He's going, ho, 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 hold up, huh?
What?
What?
Huh?
Excuse me? He might hit him with
Yeah.
an excuse me.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. So you are, by being stupid, by being the stupidest person in the room, you're
Yes.
often
Yes.
bringing out the knowledge of other people, because you're not afraid to say, hold on, what do you mean by that? Is it always like, what do you mean by that? Are there good other questions to ask? Like, how come?
Sure. That's a good one. I like using how come. Wait, what is like one of my favorites.
What about this? Do you ever try to sound smart and hit him with like, do you have the numbers to back that up? Bust that out of nowhere.
Oh, that's a really common one in business.
Hey, do you got the numbers to back that up?
What do the numbers say about this?
No,
We're gonna be closing your department.
What do the numbers say about
What do you
that?
got the numbers to back that up?
because see, I think I would go even one step back, and I would say, what are the numbers for this?
Oh, okay.
Wow, a master, a true
Yes.
master of stupidity.
Yes.
That's why you're the expert. That's
Yeah.
why you're a doctor.
And should we let our listeners in on we have you on talking about this because you do have an expertise in stupidity for you.
Yes. Well, I've studied in Jacques Lecoq based clowning for, but maybe, I probably did it hardcore for about 6 years. Lots of clown training.
6 years of foolishness. Wow.
Yes.
And
I've done it all. I've done every exercise, and I did well.
The other people in your class were impressed by you.
Yes.
Your
you were
professors.
the best stupid person there.
Do they call them professors, teachers, instructors?
If we really get into it, they'll call themselves pedagogues.
How come?
Great question.
Wow, Tom, you're doing it.
I'm
Supposedly, like, someone was like, in ancient Greece, like, your teacher would like walk you to school and like teach you on the walk.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of like ped, like you walk,
Yeah.
and then they're gogging at you.
and Agog, they're going.
Oh
oh my God, that did something nice to me.
Is he got a new ASMR channel?
Clown ASMR.
Nonsense ASMR. Just a man with a neck brace.
That's what it's called.
Jesus Christ.
10-hour loop.
Could be cool.
You'd buy yourself a house in the fucking hills with that money, man.
Yeah, I just guessed it on my friend's podcast, and I found a whole industry.
And who are you telling in that scenario?
Good question. Great question.
Thank you.
Love the question.
Maybe was that too smart?
No, that was good. Maybe it's like the person. It's like whoever's the next big late night show guy, because these guys.
Yeah.
I think we're.
Oh, you're being interviewed.
Yeah.
You're being interviewed by Mr. Beast, maybe.
He's
Mr. Beast talk show.
I feel like he doesn't have the time to stop to do a talk show.
No,
He's got to torture poor people inside of an airplane or whatever.
Yeah, he's got to do that. But I think there's a new one rising. Someone's going to crack a new code that we're going to be like, I didn't realize a talk show could do this.
Yeah.
Wow, I thought talk show was dead. I thought it was on the way out.
And that's when it innovates.
It's backed
That's
into
when
a corner.
Innovates when it goes out on the street. You're gonna get man on the street talk show.
Yeah.
Right. They've never done that quite the same way.
I don't think so.
That's the big thing on Instagram nowadays. People be like those people who just go out and say like, "What's your body count?" And then they're like, "Oh, that's my show. My show is that I stand on the street." And they're like, "I'm the host of this show."
Yeah.
I've seen it
Wow.
on so many profiles.
So-
I'm like, that's not a show. That's you just asking people a question.
Well, Tom, they're doing late night. They're doing the stupidest at late night show.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are doing. They're doing exactly.
Which
what
has a
our
lot of
expert is
value, we're
saying.
finding.
It does have a lot of value.
Are there any other ways you can think that we could apply stupidity in our lives and romance, business, education, otherwise? Maybe it's too broad of a question.
No, it's actually, I
really
think, a
stupid
really
question.
perfect question. I think it can be applied to all those fronts. Is it which one are you looking towards more?
Well, I think we're kind of hitting it on the business, innovation
business
side.
Our sort of the business
got
listeners
that.
are kind of walking away with like 3 or 4 tools that they can use in the
Yeah.
next
Those-
meeting.
we're making the rich richer over here.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
have a lot of business listeners. Our citizen soldiers are going to love hearing how they can apply stupidity to their own business.
Yeah.
I'm curious how it might just help you in your day-to-day life. Your average Wednesday.
I just think okay, for me, I walk into the grocery store, I grab an associate and I'm taking them with me wherever I'm going.
Okay.
How come?
Exactly. Because you get I don't know which the types of the vegetables are the good ones, so I can kind of be like, which of these are the best?
You got a 19-year-old by the collar.
Yes.
Yeah.
19-year-old.
And the different product, there's tons of different products, and you don't know which ones are the best.
It's overwhelming.
And there's each tag has all sorts of information. Have you noticed that?
Oh yeah.
There's the price, and then there's the price per ounce or pound or something. There's information in there that you can unlock
Yep.
to optimize what you're buying.
You need a statistician's expert,
Statistician's expert. Yeah, I love
which is an expert for a statistician,
Stat-
not a statistician. If you might be thinking that.
And also, sometimes there's a science to how you sort of navigate a grocery store. And it could be oh, I missed the end cap with the best deals. And you can kind of find that out if you're talking to the store associate a lot.
So you're saying, what do you mean the end cap for the best deals?
Yeah, what is that?
End cap?
Yeah.
End cap sounds like an industry jargon.
Oh, see, this is great. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
Utterly stupid.
You might be afraid to say something like that if you were at a grocery store meeting.
If you're a normal person out there, you might not have been as unlocked as Tom and Thomas and myself.
So you have the aisle, and then at the end of the aisle, that's when they kind of have something that that kind of catches your eye. And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
oh, I didn't know about these chips.
The end cap.
pickles in the bag.
Yeah. So the
Type
end
of
cap,
Gatorade,
that's
secret type of
that area, and that's a very strategic area of the store. But it's also a very deceptive, because if you're sometimes I go down and then up and then down and then up. So there are end caps I might not be seeing that are kind of behind me. If as I'm sort of doing my S sign through the different aisles,
Right.
I'm missing. I could be missing every other end cap.
Right. There's all those parts of the
yeah.
S. The donut hole of the S you're
Yes.
missing.
So that's, if I have someone with me, they can sort of be like, oh, we actually have something absolutely nutso happening on this end cap that you actually missed.
Yeah.
The tortilla chips are 10 for $5.
Whoa. 10 whole chips
10
for
whole
$5.
chips, $5.
10 whole
Yeah.
chips.
Which is a steal for guys like us. I'm hearing the cat's toy has just been activated.
Just been
and
activated.
I've got to turn that off. You talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
Thomas, I did love. I love the idea of this because you are once again milking out what would be hidden knowledge, you know, especially from in the grocery store, walking amongst the produce, grabbing the attendant and say, which one of these is the best? And just motioning to the vegetables. It's like, I've never even thought personally about what the best vegetable is.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And so to just have someone be like, the onion is the best, you know, then I'm not wasting my time buying anything else.
Totally.
Other vegetables that I don't need.
Exactly. And you're just like using this exceptionally versatile vegetable like an onion, and all your meals are just kind of all the more exciting because of it.
Yeah, you're almost using other people to think for you.
Exactly.
Which is very
Outsourcing.
efficient.
You're drop shipping your thoughts.
Yes. And like, just think of like all the stuff that you're freeing. Think of all the cool thoughts that I'm having because I have this other associate here who's kind of helping me find the things that I'm looking for.
A bit of a minion.
So what types of things do you like to think about because you have so much time? Being assisted throughout the entire grocery store by a 19-year-old clerk.
Maybe just like,
It's time for my lunch break, sir.
and I'm like, just a minute, man. But also, what are you having for lunch? Is there a meal? Is there like a sort of thing that you're bringing, or is there something in the store that is kind of delicious that I don't know about?
What's the way to do lunch? I feel like there's people in my life I could name right now on the podcast who I'm not gonna, but who are kind of behaving like this. It's time to go get lunch. Okay, let's all order lunch. What do you get? What do I get there? They don't know how to order their own lunch for themselves, and they just exist like this. And they need a 19-year-old helper. Am I making any sense?
No,
I think you're the 19-year-old helper in there because you're giving them. You're like, oh, I love the buffalo chicken sandwich.
I used to be annoyed by this person because it's like, grow up. You've had a sandwich before. You know how to order one or whatever. But really, I shouldn't be annoyed by them because they are freeing up that brain space to do some other incredible considerations in their lives.
Yes.
Yeah. So, can you go back to some of the thoughts or like what you like to think about in your free time?
You know, just different types of music is kind of like really fun to kind of break down.
Okay.
My favorite parts of the shoe.
Favorite parts of the shoe?
Of like the shoe as a concept.
Yeah.
So like I'm like, okay, over here, sir, these onions are really fresh. We get them from the Central Valley, San Fernando. We actually have a really good deal on garlic right now. I'm talking through that, like, pretend that's going on in the background. What's going on in your head?
While you were saying that, legit, for real, honestly, I was thinking about what is the best length for shoelaces?
Okay.
So you're thinking of another question. Or you were determining it.
I was kind of like, I was like, oh, I like having a lot of room to tie them.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have too much to where it's like long.
Dragging on the ground, stepping on it.
So like, just kind of like thinking about that. And like, but I trust that you're telling me the good information.
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So by being utterly stupid, you're becoming so smart.
It's true. Have you guys taken? You're in a clown kind of epicenter. Like there's probably no more clown. You probably have the most clowns around in Los Angeles, California. Have you taken a clown class?
Never once.
Hey, no, but hey, I go to work every single day, and there are plenty of clowns there.
Yes, so true.
Get
them, Tom.
Yeah.
Get them.
But no, I really haven't. I did take a clown workshop when I was in Chicago.
Okay.
And it was illuminating in some ways. But I don't know if I fell in love with it quite like other people.
You kind of, you're like, I see what you can do. I don't want this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a little taste, but I don't think my mind was as open then to it as it is now. And now that I'm learning so much about that it can be used for business, for food, if monetary gain,
Totally.
I'm a lot more open to it.
I would have been much more open to it if I had understood how much it could help my life.
Yeah. I feel like improv is really good with this kind of branding where like improv will like really sort of be like improv notes are life notes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Really good.
An
Yeah,
improv, you take an improv class and they're like, you can use all of these lessons in your life.
You can do it at your
walk
business
out.
development meetings.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
sell your improv
Yeah.
Well,
to a business with too much money and not enough ideas.
yeah, and that really has taken hold because there are non-improvisers that I have talked to at work who like yes and
Oh yeah.
they're like, oh yes and it's like, yeah, it's I'm
That's
like,
part
I
of the
don't-
branding.
Yeah, that's part of business.
But clowning
branding
doesn't
now.
have that. Clowning doesn't have pull your ball sack out in the middle of the business meeting or whatever their version would be.
Yes, but why not? You know, like I feel like sharing the most vulnerable part of yourself in a meeting could be very valuable.
Sometimes that could be very valuable.
Yes. And also, could you imagine like you have the CEO, you respect them so much, you're deferring to them, you're kind of, but also that with them it becomes a pressure to be perfect. Mm-hmm. And could you imagine sort of like getting an email with a picture of them with their ball sack hanging? And how refreshing that would be.
They're debasing themselves.
Yeah.
They're opening themselves up to you.
And you say that it's not a sexual thing. I'm debasing myself for you.
And if anything, you're kind of like impressed by how long they could stretch it to the floor.
I'm being vulnerable by doing this.
Yes.
This is not a sexual picture.
Yes.
It's showing my vulnerability.
Yes.
And how long I can stretch it.
Yeah.
I've only been to one clown show, and I did actually like it. But then, I haven't been to a clowning class. I don't quite know. From hearing it described, it doesn't sound that different from improv class, other than maybe not as much talking. But I could be wrong.
It's like, it's like a lot more mysterious. You know, it'll be like you kind of go up there and do nothing, and then you'll see someone do it, and it's like the teacher will be like, "That's not it," and you're like, "Okay," and then
like a
you'll see
cult.
somebody and they're kind of doing it, and you start laughing, and they're like, "Yeah, that's it." And you're like, you can't really tell the difference for a while, but then you can tell the difference.
And you feel like that's a real thing as a guy who's done both improv and clown. You think there's something to it.
So if you got the good teacher, I think you can. But like sometimes it's like you got the person that can't see it.
Yeah. It's
You know?
the famous what was the like definition of pornography, that like ruling was like, I know it when I see it.
I like it when I see it.
Yeah.
And I
You
don't.
know? I like it
I
when
like it when I see
I
it.
like it when I see it.
Hey man, I like it when I see it.
Hey, porn, I like it when I see it.
I like
brother.
it when I see it. Yeah.
It's interesting that there is not that there hasn't been sort of a clown branding revolution to get into the business world, and it seems like you're spearheading that effort right here and now.
Very much. Yeah.
I have maybe a random
Random.
question, which is, what do you do if you feel like you're suddenly becoming you're appearing to be one of the smartest people in the room? A, what's that experience like? Do you like that experience? And B, I'm going to assume I think probably you. How do you become dumb again? How do you become the stupidest guy in the room? And what's the
Yeah.
value in doing that?
Yeah.
A lot of questions there.
I think for me, when I'm in that situation, first it's like massive fear, massive sort of like, oh shit, I fucked up. Like I'm the smartest guy in the
I
room
fucked up.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm steering the ship.
Yeah. And then it's an appreciation for the stupid people around me, really sort of just like looking at them and saying thank you.
Fear, gratitude. Excellent.
And then it's basically I kind of take a step back, and then I'm like, how can I sort of do this differently? And I sort of begin to sort of dismantle the knowledge I have. So I kind of it's this sounds like a bad version of it, but like it's the only thing I throw a wrench in the sort of whatever I'm doing.
Okay.
So it's fear, gratitude, strategy,
Wrench.
chaos, wrench
Correct.
is the process.
And you want to do that
Correct.
in order to remain the stupidest guy in the room.
Just to make sure that is happening, you know?
Right. I guess
mean-
why? Maybe we've already talked about it. So I want to get down to why. What's the value of that? Why do I want to constantly be the stupidest person in the room? Is it just so that I can kind of open up the floor, or is there more
I think
to
it's
it?
it's just like a way to make sure everything is covered and that we're just kind of innovating with every sort of step.
Yes, I see.
Because we know knowledge, right?
Right. We know knowledge.
That's why
So like
no
you
is
can't
in, yeah.
you can't do anything that you know. So if you're trying to innovate and you're using knowledge,
do anything
I
you
think you're on the wrong path.
Yeah. They call it knowledge because you're at the edge of knowing. It takes you to the edge of knowing.
Yeah, and I'm saying what's beyond that.
Yeah. Well, there is the legitimate business like advice of if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yeah.
You know, so there is surrounding yourself with smarter
Go to a
people.
different room.
Yeah, go to a different room.
Go to where they're
And
smart.
I'd say make yourself dumber in that room.
So you would not advise leaving the room.
Yeah.
You would advise staying in the room and making yourself dumber.
Can you? I mean, I think what I was maybe hoping for, and you know, battle me for having a hope here. I'm curious about the place of sort of bonk on head, fall over, silly face, fart noise style stupidity. Does that have a place in this conversation?
Bonking on the head. You're kind of walking along.
Cartoon behavior.
You're walking along and you kind of slip and you fall down really hard in your butt. And then you kind of scream and you kind of you stand up and rub your butt.
Yeah, just being
That
a
kind of stuff.
silly, full silly.
Yeah.
Is that a buffoon?
I guess so. You're like walking along and like all of us, you kind of walk into someone's backyard and you're not really looking where you're going. You step on a rake and it comes up and hits you right in the face.
Yeah.
A lot of this is starting to remind me of just of my own behavior.
Those things work,
You do look stupid.
You do look stupid. But if you were to like legit see someone walk and step on a rake and have it come up and hit their face, you'd start laughing.
Oh yeah.
So I think,
Well, I'd be concerned too.
yeah. So I think it's those are the truths. Those are the truths that we're looking for.
Okay.
The things that feel like a fart is like eternal.
Yes.
It will always be good.
Yes.
It will always be dumb. It will always be a way to
Yes.
establish yourself as stupid.
Yes.
You're saying
So
that's-
if you are in a room with a lot of smart people or you're starting to feel too smart
Yes.
in a room, a good way to bring yourself down is to just fart. Okay.
Yeah. You could fart. One thing I have done in the past is I picked up, it was kind of like around lunchtime and there was like a full watermelon on one of the tables and I sort of was sitting down and I picked it up and I dropped it on my penis.
Like into your lap?
Yes.
Wow.
But in a way that it really hurt my penis.
Yeah.
I kind of lifted it up high and dropped it on my penis.
And what did that do?
It hurt really bad, and it just sent this electricity through the meeting. Concern, kind of wariness, suspicion, hilarity, confusion, and we had one of the best ideas come immediately after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a guy who goes to a lot of meetings.
Yeah, it seems like most of this is oriented around
Yeah,
meetings.
this is really just.
And
Meetings in the grocers.
okay,
we have the
and
grocery
let
store.
me this is I say this all the time. You ready?
That was me trying to act stupid.
Yeah, you did it.
Nice.
How do you feel about meetings? If someone was like, "Hey, do you want to go to the meeting?"
Waste
what
of my
would you
time.
say?
Waste of my time. Fuck
And what?
this.
How about you?
I accept every meeting. I like can't deny meetings at my job.
But you can't deny.
I can't deny it.
I get excited for the meeting. You see?
Because it's an opportunity. Every meeting is an opportunity for debasement, stupidity.
Exactly. I go with glee to the place where people are afraid to go.
Ah,
Wow. It's
That's
bravery.
kind of
It's bravery. Stupidity into
maxim-
full-on bravery.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
a maxim of the podcast. Go with glee where others fear to go.
Wow. We should add that to the end.
Yeah. To the mantra.
The mantra.
To the citizen soldier's mantra.
Yes.
So
The prayer of the citizen soldier.
Yeah, outside of the grocery store and meetings, like where are
Give me
other
another category.
Yeah, where let's relationships.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
How can our citizen soldiers take stupidity to their relationships? You know, I'm a married man. How can I apply that to marriage or partnership?
I mean, I feel like it's like really applicable, you know? Like you never really know what your partner's thinking. You know, I feel like sometimes it's kind of like you kind of find out 4 months later that you did something bad 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm always asking, what are you thinking? What's going on? It's like a sort of consistent fundamental questions
Yeah.
that in some way you would think you would kind of get past, but I like to kind of stay at those levels.
Okay. Did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Do you like me?
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
Oh,
Like where do you want to be in 5 years?
and you
know,
ask that
yeah.
constantly. You're helping to plot a
Constantly.
map to the future.
Because look, I asked you where you want to be in 5 years, and then in like a month,
Ask
it's
again.
a month later
Yeah.
in that 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
That's a
I'm
whole
saying?
timeline.
Yeah.
Yes. So like you in 5 years might have realized something in that month that I would want to hear about. See?
Wait, say that again.
So I ask you, okay, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Me.
Yeah.
Selling my big movie.
Okay. In 5 years, you're selling your big movie. 1 month from now, I'm like, where do you want to be in 5 years? And you said, I want to be selling my big
I've already sold the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Writing the next one.
Exactly. And then it's like, oh, how can I support? 'Cause, see, it's like a different thing. So like if I was still encouraging you to
Yeah.
sell your big movie, I can now be encouraging you to write your second best big movie.
That feels good because that's. If you were to just sort of ask me my dreams, I might say the movie thing, or like writing on a television show, some kind of general career goal, and that might not happen in whatever amount of time, 5 years, let's say. And then you ask, and that stays my goal. That allows me to let it stay as my goal for eternity without ever actually achieving it. But if you ask me every month what's going on in that 5th year from now, you're assuming I've moved on from the goal, which is sort of keying to me. You subconsciously, maybe even.
So
You got to move on.
And now
Next
you've
goal.
got a month by month plan 5 years
Exactly. You have a roadmap.
Yeah.
from now. Yeah. And yeah. Anyone,
Holy shit.
especially whether you're in business or a relationship, roadmaps, they're in.
Whether you're in business or relationship, roadmaps they're in.
Roadmaps are in.
Are they talking about roadmaps in relationships now? I know we are.
Yeah.
Are they?
What's the roadmap of our relationship?
The prominent psychiatrist. Whatever.
Starting on date one. Yeah. What's the roadmap of
psychiatry.
our
Mainstream.
relationship? Where are we going
Mainstream
with this?
psychiatry.
Yeah.
I can't speak to that.
Right. Me either.
But I would, whenever I look at a map, I'm always kind of looking at the spaces on the other side of the lines.
The spaces
what
on
do you
the
mean
other
by
side of
that?
the-
Just kind of like, what's over here? This like, oh, you want me to go this way? But I'm looking at the spaces and I'm like, what's on this part? where there's
Why
no-
doesn't it want me to go there?
Yeah.
What could be in that? Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I'm trying to get to that hidden data, the hidden truth, maybe.
Yeah, you don't want to. So when you're going from Chicago to Los Angeles, you're thinking, well, what's up there?
There's this like big heavy line. Everyone's following this. Oh, I'm a zombie. I'm following the
How do they-
highway.
how do they act?
I gotta go get gas. And I'm kind of looking for like, okay, you got these guardrails.
Yeah.
What if we take the guardrails off?
Right.
How can I get around these guardrails? And
Find-
what
And
can I
they say,
find?
well, those guardrails are the Rocky Mountains, and they're, you're gonna have to walk up. You're
it's
gonna have to walk
5,000
up
feet
and fly.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have to jump out of the plane.
Yeah.
But this way, you find things others might not.
Exactly.
Adventure,
Exactly.
stories, information.
Because, okay, what is it about the journey or the destination?
I know people say it's about the journey, but I live in feeling like it's about the destination most of the time.
I feel like the more disruptive way of thinking is to say it's about the destination now.
You want to, let's be honest, you want to go to the
really
place.
important thinking it's about the destination.
Yeah.
It's about we don't do the podcast for everything in between. We do the podcast to come out at the end with how to optimize the topic.
This is it.
You know, where the podcast is a means to an end.
Yeah.
Much like the destination is the end of the journey.
I think you
I flip-flopped.
I think you made it sound like it was the journey.
I was flip-flopping.
okay.
That's a big optimizing your stupidity. You got to flip-flop a lot of stuff.
Because at any moment you could find out like, oh, actually it's this.
Right.
So flip-flopping, I love it.
Everything
So
I thought I knew was wrong.
changing your opinion, flip-flopping, doing taking the anti stance.
I have
of whatever's popular.
a stray question here.
Yeah.
Taking us maybe out of the, how to optimize and disrupt and such as and like as and such as this, which is how old were you and how did you know that you were good at being stupid? I assume at a young age. Did you know? I'm quite good at being a moron.
I think I always liked it. I think I always liked being silly. Some of it might be like some sort of how my parents treated me, maybe like call out for attention more or something.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But somewhere in there, was there a moment that you were like, I've got this maybe in a natural talent more than my peers? Were there any like early highlights of stupidity?
I remember like, you got your friends in elementary school, and I remember like one guy was like really funny, and I remember sort of like breaking down in my head like, oh, you're funny in this way, and like sort of like cracking a code and sort of being like, okay, I think I can do that too. So
you were quite smart about it.
Yeah.
Incredible. You knew how you could piece it together for yourself after breaking it down from him.
And I attempted, but I think there's always like sort of like charm that, funny people have that like, at the time he had like, the charisma. You saw it glowing like a diamond within him, and you thought I'd like that diamond for myself. I can see the technique.
Did you ever do any like pranks or anything stupid in class to get attention?
I do also remember in like 4th or 5th grade, like for some reason there was like a phone in the room, and it like, after having never rung the whole time, it rang. And I remember like getting up and like gesturing to it and being like, our first call.
That's really good.
It bombed, I think.
No, really?
And I think like I think everybody was just kind of like, wait, what?
But it stuck out to you in your memory. You latched onto that, or something about that.
I mean, it was like, it was like so surprising that I like feel like I had to sort of acknowledge it.
That is so funny. It's very disappointing to me that nobody laughed.
Damn, that is a good bit. Mm-hmm. And did anyone pick up the phone? Like,
I can't remember,
because I do remember having phones in early elementary school classrooms, and you're right, they almost never rang. But then every once in a while, the phone would ring, and everybody like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. And then the teacher would pick it, and it's usually like they want to talk to the teacher directly, and the teacher either had to like go immediately leave, and they'd be like, all right, we need I need a teacher to cover this, cover my classroom while I go attend to something
happened with your family.
Freaky.
Your daughter's out again.
Yeah, right. So
she escaped.
For our teachers, her daughter was always getting out.
She's out.
I'm just trying to think what that could ever be, because usually I feel like in my school, they're coming over the intercom letting us know stuff. But you're right, if they're talking directly to the teacher, it's teacher's eyes only.
Teacher's eyes only.
Teacher's ears only. Do you have any early moron memories, buffoonery, silliness?
do. I definitely remember one of the pranks I pulled in elementary school was the Pin 15 Club. And I knew I knew what it was, and I did it to another kid, and I wrote penis on his hand, and I thought it was very funny, and I got in big trouble. And my parents were very disappointed in me.
Wait, what's the prank?
You say, hey, do you want to join like the Pin Club? You're like, it's like a classic elementary school scam, and that you're kind of like, oh, are you in the club? Are you in the and of course, like, you know, your mark's gonna bite when you're talking about being in a club.
Loser's never heard of it, wants to be involved.
Yeah,
wants to be
so
included.
they're gonna be like, yeah, I want to be in the club. What's the club? And you say, oh, it's the pen club.
And you're the 15th
you're
member?
Like, I'm 13, he's 14.
Oh,
you can be
wow.
pen 15, and then you make the 5 look like an S, and it says, you know, penis.
You got penis on
Did you find it organically, or were you tricked by Pen 15 first?
I can't remember. I think I might have heard it from like my sister's friends, and then I kind of like went in with one of my buddies in class and was like, hey, we should pull this in our own class. I got a great scheme from the 6th graders. I want to introduce it to the 3rd grade.
It seems like something that has been passed down since maybe about the 1920s.
Sure.
Schoolboy foolishness.
It's like, you know, say I, then spell cup.
ICUP.
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 Rubber bun. There was ones about rubber buns and liquor.
Yes.
Don't remember
Ketchup
what
and
that
rubber
was.
buns. It was like, say ketchup and rubber buns after everything I say. And you're like, what did you eat for dinner?
Oh,
Like,
right.
ketchup and rubber buns. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
what do you
yeah.
say when you see a hot girl? And you say ketchup and rubber buns.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I like that because you preload the punchline to the dork,
Yeah.
and then you run the software of the prank.
Yeah. yeah. But you would argue that it's fun. It's better to be on the receiving end. It's better to be the Pen 15 than it is to be the you know, scammers, the con men.
Because you remember it because it worked.
Yes.
So you need someone in which to have it work. You know, I need the phone to ring, and Griff, you need to tell us about a memory. But like, you know, if it didn't work, then like, and you know, maybe you regret having to sort of get punished by your parents.
Yeah.
But you also have that sort of like elation when you're writing Pen 15 on his hand or her hand.
Yes, exactly.
You know? So
by optimizing your stupidity, you're bringing other people joy because someone has to be the one.
someone has to be the
take
one. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. You know, was it an early time that I found myself being funny and others agreed, or just being stupid? We've kind of been talking about both. I could probably share both of them.
Yeah.
I think it's just that in elementary school, so much of being funny was just being stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Doing stupid things.
I used to, I mean, this is probably around 5th grade. I would put my hand, much like I am now, put my hand in my shirt because I thought that's what they were doing, like Civil War photos.
Yeah.
I think they did do this.
Yeah, they did.
And I would kind of march around and I would yell Napoleon in a French voice, and I would act like I was being Napoleon. And kids loved it. They would request it. They would ask me to do it on stage when we had like our spring musical. And then that all, you know, quickly evaporated, and then, you know, commenced the egregious bullying I suffered in middle school. But
was it
for a few
like,
glorious months, I was Napoleon guy.
you were still like writing that you were like, great, I'm going to coast on Napoleon for like the rest of my career. And
got
then
it.
eventually they were like, no,
Something about
you
you
need
would
to innovate.
Yeah, we don't like that. You got to innovate, probably. I don't know what it was, but
Nice.
it was. Napoleon was one of them. I have a very early memory of like being this might be like preschool or somewhere where I remember being on a playground and accidentally hurting a fellow child and being like, oh, I'm about to get in so much trouble. What's the opposite of this kid crying right now is getting them laughing, and then just like truly like bonk myself on the head, fall over, whatever. I don't know what I did, but that was the feeling I remember of. I got to get out of trouble. I got to make this kid laugh or I am hosed.
That's an insane. I feel like I was like thinking about that the other day of like either you caused it or like someone around you is like hurt, and like your sort of like initial like response of just like stop or like
Me personally?
No, just
or
like
just
kids,
as a person. Yeah. You saw me try to trick somebody as an adult into not being hurt.
yeah.
I actually did try that the other day on my girlfriend. She has been sick and was feeling hurt. And she went, ow! But she said, she didn't say ow, but she said it in such a way that it sounded like she was having a really good idea. And I was trying to help her pivot away from the pain. And I was like, next time it hurts like that, you have to come up with one genius idea. Because she went, yeah! Or something like that. I can't really do the sound she was doing. And at the time I thought it helped, but I think it ultimately just annoyed and pissed her off and was not helpful. But that is kind of the same impulse.
That's the impulse that I'm trying to get you to follow.
You want me to follow? I thought it was a good idea. I think it wasn't actually. I think it was actually, you need to just shut up and listen and say, I'm sorry, you're in pain.
I think it was like 5th grade. There was like a early computer with like Oregon Trail on it. And you could like name the characters. So we named every character after the teacher and then like played the game bad.
Yeah.
And updated our teacher and like the different ways she died. Of like, oh, you just died.
That's fun.
It's like, Miss Dolan, you just like died of dysentery. And she just started be like, okay, guys.
There was another one. I don't know if this will land here, but it was at a time where I was, very much on the persona non grata in like middle school or like junior high. And some other kid came in, and I can't remember what he did. He came into class late or like looked kind of weird. It's like, Catholic private school. Everybody's wearing the same clothes. And for whatever reason, I was just overcome with, confidence out of nowhere. I think because I saw an opportunity to put somebody else down instead of me being at the bottom of the social ladder. And I said something about like, boy, you look like shit. The fashion police are here to arrest you or something. And I wish I remember what it was, because everybody turned. It went from like, Griffin sucked. Griffin said, we feel sad about this kid. We're sorry for him. To everybody laughing so hard at whatever the fashion police joke was, because this kid was just wearing exactly what everybody else was wearing, and somehow it landed in a way that like it unlocked something for it. It made me feel quite confident.
Oh, the fact that you called someone out for wearing something shitty when it was the exact same.
It's the exact same thing everybody else was wearing. He didn't look, and I think it was like the delivery of it or something. I don't really remember, but it was just like, oh my God, a superpower just came out of me, and I made everybody like me.
Wow.
Really, it's like to the point that they all couldn't help themselves but laugh.
Griffin just made himself such an idiot for all of our pleasure.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's awesome.
That felt great.
Yeah. Because what is a comedian or a clown but that? Someone making themselves an idiot.
Well,
optimizing their stupidity for your pleasure.
And I wish they would do more of that. I do think there's sort of a trend in comedy right now to be hot, fuckable, confident asshole. And I think maybe we're suffering because of it.
Yes, I would agree.
Do you think so, Thomas, or you had a reaction to that?
I think so. I think there's like you also have to be smart. You also have to be like, oh, I'm breaking down something,
Sure, there's a place for that.
But I feel like it's like, oh, I think I just want you to sort of like go up there and be like, burr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's probably you can do a little bit of both. That's maybe the best. Maybe this is your point. Is you can do the breaking down and the social commentary if you're able to kind of be the dumbest guy in the room.
Yes.
Yeah, but then you got to make a funny face. You got to goon. What is it? They call it gooning, where they're like the guys in. No, gooning is something different.
I don't think this is what you want to be talking about.
There's like a.
Oh no, Tom!
That was so good. That was like so pure. That was like so like. That's like your dad, sort of like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
gooning, son, are you gooning at school?
No, there's some
in the car.
Are you guys gooning?
Dude, there's
you and your friends love to go gooning, huh?
Man, I was gooning with my son.
Oh gosh, we were just so good. We were gooning. We're gooning.
Wow, you are become father.
Yeah,
yes, you have become father.
There's some thing in some contest in like Great Britain where they're like they try and like make the most fucked up face they can, where they're like, and it's called something similar to gooning.
It's
and
gurning.
I forget gurning.
Gurning. Yeah. Thomas knows. The clown knows. The clown knows.
The clown knows.
So what? Yeah, gurning is just trying to like contort your face in a really crazy way.
Have you done it before?
Yes, I have a book about like it's like on speech, but you kind of it's like the first thing you do is like gurn, where it's like you're kind of like using your voice and your mouth in a way that like you're kind of like relearning all the sounds you can make. So for example, you might just sort of be like. So I was last week.
Wait,
That's just the first speech.
That's the first step?
You're taking up. It's a book on speech, and they're like, you just got to see what sounds your face can make.
You gotta
You're
go for it, man. Put your tongue, put your lips, put your teeth in sort of weird places, and
This
see
is
what
sort
kind
of-
of sounds you make.
ASMR clown.
Yeah. And it's,
Wow.
you know, I love the theme of having me speaking gibberish. Just coming back. I think you should each take a turn at it. So, you know, and it's like, you know, they also like mention like gargoyles, you know, like kind of classic sort of like
You're like kinda
grotesque.
like you're going like
Yeah. So the whole time you're kind of like, you know, pushing your mouth and your face to kind of make as sort of extreme kind of sounds.
it's gonna be hard not to just imitate you, having just heard you do it.
Yeah, but I think just you know, put your mind in your mouth instead of putting your brain on what I
Okay.
did.
This is
you know?
incredible. lesson.
Okay. We're like, it's good. It's good. Is that?
Is that it? Is he doing it?
Yeah.
Was that it or not it?
Yeah, I think you could kind of go faster.
Okay.
like,
Faster.
Yeah, like I feel like, you know, or like, so part of it in this book, you kind of like, you sort of like, and then you like stop.
He's so good at it.
He's really
He's really good
and it's
at
fun
it.
to watch.
It is fun.
For our YouTube watchers. I hope you're enjoying that.
Yes. But then you sort of like you kind of like travel around and then you sort of find a place and then you kind of speak from there. So you might go like, and then you might, you know, you go back to like Gurning, sort of like,
This is insane.
What are you talking about, man? When are we going to the? Well, you promised me we're going to go on the roller coaster, man. When are we going on the roller coaster? You find a character that way.
This is Brando wants to ride the roller coaster.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
found a new character.
Yeah,
God,
Holy shit.
And
he
Griff?
is a master.
it's time.
Did I try gurning?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just. Oh wow! What did you say? Put your mind in your face.
Yeah, put your mind in your mouth. You know, you can think about your tongue. You think about your lips.
I'm just. Yeah,
That was pretty good.
was that it? I don't
And-
feel like I landed on anything.
Yeah, but you know, this is
keep
your first
going.
time you've done it.
This is our first.
Wow.
This is baby's first
Baby first
gurn.
gurn.
And one thing that I think is interesting from the book, if your mouth is open, those are vowel sounds. But once you sort of like stop the sound, that's when
Yeah.
consonants come in.
Huck.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just getting so nervous. I was going to do, some sort of racist gibberish.
Sometimes
One
sometimes
it
you're kind of
feels
like
like-
you find a part of your mouth and you're like, ooh, okay.
You got to I think you probably, if you're doing it right, you got to lose all judgment.
Yeah.
And just kind of
yeah.
let yourself make sounds.
And then
Yeah.
it's like, hey man, if you heard Chinese in
Wow.
there, that's on you. That's on you. That's not on
Huh.
me. I was
Interesting.
gurning.
Yeah.
You're the bigot.
But also, at some point, you might need to play a born in China Chinese person on film. So you need to find which parts of your mouth, that they have culturally used.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
So like you need to write down your book like Chinese noises, so you can find it later.
You're saying at some point in the average person's life, they might have to play.
Well, we're all actors.
Us as actors, I see.
yeah.
Was really hoping you were saying the other thing.
Well, I get what you mean, and that there are so many other cultures, so many other peoples from all over the world make sounds that we
never get to make.
Yeah, Americans never get to make, or we never learn to make, and we have
We have a hard
certain
time making
sounds
some of
that we can make very easily that other people don't. But I do love trying to listen to someone who is born in a particular place like China and say, "Oh, I'm going to add that to my list of my big list of Chinese sounds." I have my big list of sounds for every continent and a nation, and I'll just make a little voice memo for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm spending the whole podcast trying to keep this hat on my head.
Yeah,
And you must.
It's kind of a fun mission.
Oh, man.
Other people would have stopped. Other people would have quit.
I almost did, but we started talking about gurning, and I sort of debased myself in front of the camera, and I felt good about continuing.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely gurning really felt like optimizing my stupidity. Like I did feel like this is legitimately cringe for a second.
Oh yeah,
you know. But then because Thomas is so good at it.
You kind of don't care.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for a while. It was like my favorite exercise. And I'll still like if I'm before I perform, I'll kind of like, I'll hop in a little like it's
like handing somebody a Stratocaster and you finding out they're Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Oh, it was him the whole time.
It's gurning.
Wow, you were kind of full body gurning just then.
Oh man, Thomas Kelly gurning at the Greek.
Wow.
October 31st.
Yeah, you're
He gurned for 3 hours and we loved it.
We did love that. Wow. I would love if you had to open up for somebody and gurn for even 15 minutes.
Gosh, wow.
That's like kind of the ultimate clown challenge, it sounds like.
And is it straight up like I've been doing, or am I like performing as if I'm doing stand up and I'm just like, go sit there.
I think you get out and you just go. I mean, they're both really funny.
Yeah.
I think you get out and you just go full bore animal brain gurning.
Yeah.
People would, I think, just be pissed off. But if you could get them laughing, and I bet you could, that would really be something to watch.
I bet there's a way to do it.
I think so.
Where it's like you have to like kind of treat it like music, where it's like rhythm and pacing and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Have you ever laughed at unrelated to anything? Have you ever laughed at a piece of music? You ever heard something and been like, that's
like,
just funny sounds.
Without parody lyrics?
Yeah,
Tom, if you can believe it or not, first off, you're listening to music that doesn't have parody lyrics. If you can even wrap your fucking mind around that.
You can listen to music that doesn't have parody lyrics?
Yeah, brother.
No, buddy.
And I'm saying it's like...
That put me in a bad place.
I'm not talking about lyrics. You're hearing Bob Dylan say something silly. You're hearing Weird Al say something funny. You're hearing just the music, and you go, hee, that tickled you. It tickled you so much.
The first time I ever heard a musical saw, I couldn't help but giggle. Yeah. Like a theremin. Hearing a theremin, a musical saw, that really makes me laugh.
I also feel like synthesizers have a bunch of like that sort of like
Some of those are really fun.
Like they have like the really fun sounds.
I don't know why I was just reminded of watching. It was like the Nashville Chamber something or other, some kind of NPR music, classical music thing in the park, and whatever the piece they were playing was just so sort of light and like playful, like there were like flutes doing fun stuff. It just really tickled me, and I don't think I've ever had that since. Not related to stupidity at all.
I'm glad you found that, Griffin.
Yeah, I thought maybe there was something to it. A little flute that goes. It's reminding me of gurning.
I'm glad you enjoyed music.
It sounds like unlike you.
I mean, I can see a little bit of what you're saying. Of like, I remember like
it does something fun.
When I was like a kid, I remember them showing us like the musical score of like Peter and the Wolf.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
My mind when you talked about that, my mind went to Peter and the Wolf.
Yeah, exactly. Of like, oh, the flute is like it's not. There aren't any words, but you can tell what the character is just by like the rhythm and the sound, and it's like
sure.
It's like a little boy walking through the woods.
Well, I to relate it back to what we've been talking about, I feel like it's like you're hearing quite serious music, and then one little guy hops up and does something real silly in front of everybody, and it makes you kind of laugh.
Yeah, an oboe can do that for me.
Oboe can do that for you. Flute, something I feel like high pitched, but you can hear a good, nice low pitched something.
If there's a surprise funny. Oboe,
I think
a surprise oboe appears. That's what I say. Instead of laughing, I go, a surprise oboe appears. Yeah, that's what I do. People
but there's also like that sort of like classic. I feel like Fred Willard played one in a I Think You Should Leave sketch.
Yeah.
That instrument.
Whatever that's called, where he's smashing plates and pulling chains and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like an organ with like a bunch of like sound effects.
Handles and stuff. Yeah, I forget what that's called, but it does have a name.
Yeah. But I once
Musical stupidity. Okay.
musical stupidity. Exactly.
I was trying to. That's the topic I was actually trying to bring up. So
Yes.
So how do you like it now, Tom?
Which Tom?
Yeah, that broke my
Thomas.
brain because you were talking to Tom, but I felt implicit in that as well.
Yeah, I was kind of mugging to you.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel that's another great way to optimize your stupidity is when anyone says any name at all, you just respond.
Exactly.
Whether it's your own name or someone else's name.
That is a very good bit, and I mean, not to just keep referencing. I think you should leave, but the skeleton song.
Oh wait, yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name, but he's
Yeah. He's like Steve, and they're like, oh no,
Steve me or Steve him. You're also Steve. No, that's why I'm so fucking confused.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
beautiful piece of comedy right
Beautiful.
there, and idiocy. Beautiful piece of idiocy.
Yes, exactly.
I assume we're kind of need to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think musical stupidity, Thomas. Do you have anything to add there?
There was like a live scored like I can't remember which. It was like it's not like Looney Tunes, but it's like Max, one of the Maxes, his like cartoons, Max Fleischer. And there was like live
I don't know who that is.
instrumentation, and that was like full on like you're watching like a little cat kind of running around a house, and like someone's kind of like got this sort of like
Yeah.
That's fun.
It was just like
That would be that's a fun kind of performance. I don't think I've ever gotten to see live cartoon score.
Did y'all ever listen to Jazz Daredevil? John Benjamin.
Yes.
That is musical stupidity
Yeah.
to like a T. That felt like a musical clown piece of like a piece of musical clown.
He's clowning on all the jazz musicians
Yeah.
and also clowning on himself.
And it is also so fun just to hear like legit jazz intro and then just someone just coming on piano who has no idea how to play piano.
Yeah.
And it's just like and it's like chunk, chunk, and it's just the whole album is that.
Yeah. It's fun to the little interviews with like these like jazz legends is also great. Like documentary footage.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen this?
I don't know.
Oh, they're like talking about like recording with him and they're like, yeah, he does not know what he's doing. It's really they're not trying to be funny whatsoever. They're just like a little bit offended that he's even doing it at all.
Yeah.
But there's also like if you go see like free jazz, that is just like I have no idea what's happening, but there's like 7 older guys who are like eyes closed and like really feeling it. But to me, it just sounds like
Jazz is musical gurning.
It's kind of musical gurning. Yeah. That's a great point.
That's an incredible and important thought.
We spent a whole episode of this podcast optimizing jazz.
yes.
And we didn't even get to that point that jazz is musical gurning. So thank you for bringing it all back.
I think that's what we needed.
Okay.
Well, one final question for you, Thomas. We must acknowledge our sponsor of
sponsor
the
in the
Randleman
sky.
Skycam. Randleman sauces. Out of all the sauces, which one is your favorite?
I was thinking about the color series where they like did the full colors of the rainbow.
Right.
And they really sort of like the blue sauce was like really sort of like crisp and like
Oh.
refreshing, and like that little bit of like menthol was like I feel like it's just like really
Menthol blue.
nice.
Oh, yeah. A nice crisp menthol.
Nice crisp blue sauce.
Oh, that was a good year when they released the rainbow of sauces.
Yeah, I remember like it came out fully like Roy G. Biv.
Yeah.
And that was like really, really, really nice.
Man, those were better times when Randleman's was releasing. The money was flowing.
And they could release the Roy G. Biv sauce and it wouldn't get all political.
Yeah.
It was just something nice they did
Yes,
for the community.
exactly.
Yeah. Nowadays, everyone would be too triggered by the Roy G. Biv.
Now people would be trying to
spectrum.
firebomb the factory.
Yeah.
But good luck finding it.
Yeah.
It's like Brigadoon. It appears every couple of years in a cloud of smoke.
Yeah, but we did directly name the location of it
Which is where?
in a few episodes.
Well, that's
ago.
where it was most recently.
That's where it was most
somewhere
recently.
in Kentucky.
Yeah, Chris Chismore was there because of the
Chismore
big
was there.
meltdown.
Right. Well, it's gone again. Who
It's
knows
gone
when it will
again.
appear?
Who knows? Yeah, where it could be in Maine. Could be in
Getting a
Maine
little
this
bit
time of
spooky.
year.
I know, and we hope you're getting a little bit spooky this weekend or week, dear listener and viewer. And of course,
Thank you to our guest, Dr. Thomas Kelly,
Thank
for
you.
optimizing stupidity. Thomas, do you have anything that you'd like to plug or anything that you do online?
I've got my Thomas Kelly Acting Man Instagram, and Sand Improv is my improv team.
Oh yeah, and y'all perform in Chicago,
Legendary.
right? A lot, and at a lot of festivals because they're very good.
Yeah, we're going to South Carolina in February or
Oh, awesome.
January.
Okay.
In Charleston, or nice Theater
Look out.
99.
Maybe.
Okay, cool.
Is that like Henry Riggs?
Maybe.
No,
No, I don't know.
that one's something different. Oh wait, does he run one?
I think so.
I saw him
So
a few years ago.
if we
He
have
was
any
working at
listeners
one.
in South Carolina, which we might have because that's where I finished up high school, go see Thomas's.
Go see Sand.
Go see Sand.
Sand is
You
one of the
should
most
go
legendary,
see.
beautiful, incredible improv teams, groups, performances you've ever seen. And it's who is it now? You,
Me, Mike
Mike?
Brunley, and sometimes we'll have a musician like
sometimes
Dan
a musician.
Wolcott, Jeff Rooks, or David Mack.
Awesome. And then you're Thomas Kelly Acting Man Instagram, and you pop up in commercials every once in a while too. Mm-hmm. So keep an eye out during college football, sports, TV, really anything on TV.
In the
that
next
might have a
several years.
commercial.
Nothing right now.
Nothing right now, but also if
Okay,
you
next
see,
year.
if you're like talking to somebody who has a product and you're like, you got to have a guy with a mustache in there kind of doing something.
He's good at being stupid.
Yeah. And like he can maybe just talk gibberish for 30 seconds and it'll be engaging.
If your product needs to be gurned,
Yeah,
we've got your man.
We got it.
Thomas
Yeah.
Kelly.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, citizen soldiers, for watching, for listening. Thank you to the Melbourne Fringe comedians once again.
I hope you had an incredible festival and it was just on the fringes of society and performance.
Yes, thank you for downloading. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the
revolution.
awakening.
Oh, whoops. I fucked it up. Why can't I ever remember it? Go for it,
It's
Tom.
because I usually say it. Welcome to the journey. Welcome to the awakening. You are loved. No one thinks like you.
And there's no revolution in it.
Yeah, there's no revolution
Well, and there was the other thing we said we were going to add, and I don't even remember that.
at the beginning of the episode.
In this very episode.
Yeah, because we've optimized our stupidity. We forget
so-
everything.
I'm a corn husk of a brain right now. I'm so dumb. Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas.
Really Important Thinking is produced by Griffin Winsler, Tom Fell, and Dr. Chris Chismore. All fact-checking is done by the MIT Institute for Data, Systems, and Society. Really Important Thinking is engineered at the Stanford Institute of Consequential Noise and recorded at Detweiler Sound in humble Tupelo, Mississippi. When I see my baby dancing, I know it's to that Detweiler sound. Sound mixing by Reed Armband with music by Laser Monster. Tom's costume was provided by Padma Lakshmi with catering provided by Kokomo's Mungo Lounge. Kokomo's, if you can't take her here, you can't take her anywhere.